Hey, folks, Quilly18 here, and welcome to another episode of Let's Play Songs of Six. We are running a human colony, which has barely gotten started. We've got our first ranch, all these young little pig cubs, ferocious four-legged mammal. I think they're basically boars is what's going on here, these Intelodons. But they're all babies right now. They're not really producing much in the way of meat. But we've got, we actually up to 11 days of stored food. We did do a great harvest of some fruit, so that'll keep us going for a little while. Fruit is not one of the humans' preferred foods, so they're not really getting much out of it, but it's keeping them alive, which is important. And we've gone and plopped down a couple of longhouses that will soon get built. I think we need some extra workforces. We've got 5 more immigrants willing to come in. I'm going to go and double click this to accept them because we could use some extra odd jobbers to build things. Right now, everyone is still homeless, but we're going to start to alleviate that as quickly as we can. And yeah, we've got a big storage pile over here. People are coming in, dropping off some things, taking a little break. Rishar's taking just chillaxing a little bit. And yeah, we're up to 25 people, and they're relatively happy, but that's because their expectations, I think, are fairly low. Oh, that's a doorway. I'm like, what are you doing standing in the wall? But that's right. That's a doorway over there. A little bit of idleness. Do we not have the material? No, we've got lots of wood. I guess, it's just leisure time. People are taking their break at night. That makes sense. Okay, let's go up to the 25 times speed. Oh, there's new migrants have just shown up. And look at that. They want to prove their worth immediately, starting to go ahead and construct these houses. Some of them might even get into some of these houses. Not everyone will, because it's only going to be housing for 20, but we'll be expanding that relatively soon here. So, and with 10 ob jobbers and more immigrants almost certainly coming fairly soon, we can go and expand out to our next industry level fairly quickly. Might also get some of these roads put down too, which will help with movement and will make people a little bit happier. I think they're still bringing some goods. I think they're still picking some fruit from some of our foraging. We're halfway through autumn at this point. And yeah, our houses are coming in. Tap, 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 tap. Sound too quiet? I don't know. Little tappy sound. Maybe I should. Got the volume fairly low, but maybe. Okay, volume effects is still high. I think what I'll do is I'll bring up the master volume, then bring down the song a little bit, and let's give that a go. I think I might be happier with that. I can hear tappy tappy sounds. Oh, it's possible the tappy tappy sounds don't really play on the fastest thing because maybe it would be just too much noise. Okay, construction. It's coming along. It's just going to be dirt floors over here. These are not going to be fancy places. We'll give them some furnishings at some point, but the first pass here is really going to be, they're just going to put some little hay pallets on the ground to sleep in. Moving over here. Quality, yeah. We're still waiting for a bunch of the meat to show up. And then over here, how many people are working in the warehouse now? 6 of 6, 38% workload. We do have, this is on, right? How do I tell if the automation is on? That looks off. That looks on. I guess the V is auto-employ. There you go. I think the automation will go and start firing some people here because there's too many of them. And there we go. And there's the house. And you can see a little decor, right? They got the little sleeping pallets. They got, a couple little bins and boxes and some little braziers for heat, but not much. 10 people can live in a house. I think the houses are uni-species. So these, even if I had mixed species in my city, this would be only human one. Only human one. We'd have another one that would only be tilapia or something like that. And yeah, there's currently no decoration. They've got no wood stored up for firewood and various things like that. No furniture, no cloth, no fancy jewelry. I think they're just maybe called luxuries, and no pots either. We can see their jobs. And that's lovely. And so we still have 5 homeless people, but overall things are okay. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to go and put a activate job. I'm just going to get this outer ring of roads built. And I'm also going to get the one straight line road to here built up, which also means finishing this. And we get a 5% movement boost on that, which will be nice. And again, a little bit more fulfillment. So we still don't have food security yet, although we have a lot of meals. The other thing we could do is if we found some wildlife. What's this? Globdian. They like turtles? Docile globdians have long since been domesticated by Amevians, those are the lizard folk, and Amevian settlers regularly take over a dozen eggs of these reptiles with them. As herbivores, they are generally harmless to the average hunter in the wild, albeit their jaws can snap bone with ease. Yeah, they're snapping turtles, or tortoises. Their eggs are harvested and collected for the purposes of animal husbandry and the occasional omelet. So we could hunt them for some meat if we needed to. Is there any other wildlife? We got some wild aurochs over here. That might be worthwhile. We know that the meat will decay very quickly, though. And so we have so much food stored, there's no reason to do the hunting. Because even the fruit here decays at half of it goes away per year. So we're not going to get a chance to eat all these. So I'm thinking the next thing is I think we need to get a little bit of a carpentry industry going on. And the reason for that is we're going to have some buildings very quickly that need a little bit of furniture to construct. Mostly, I'm thinking of setting up a hunting lodge. So let's say I leave this block as possibly for some services and things like that. So I'll start well, maybe on the south. Then I really do have to think about how much room I want to leave for this boulevard, if that's the case. I mean, a 3-tile wide road is fine, but I really like the idea of a big, fancy road through here. I mean, I guess we can always bulldoze the buildings later, but, you know, there's nothing more permanent than a temporary solution. Let's say I'm going to assume like 3 tiles for some decoration here, because we put a little fence, some little flowers inside. I don't know, maybe wider than that. I guess I can encroach on this and just make it 2-tile wide. And we do, I don't know how much space I want to leave here. Maybe I'll leave 5 and then another 3. So I'm going to leave some things in here for a little bit of beauty maybe. And then, yeah, I'll build a bit more of a wood-based industry down in this area. Industrial buildings, carpenters and things like that do have a noise radius that they pop out. I think they'd be far enough away from our houses to not be an issue. And we can always block it with a double wall. But we're going to do this. So we're going to get a carpenter. So I think that's under crafting. Yes, a carpenter will build the furniture for us. And I'm not going to build a very big one right now. If I do this, so this is 9x9, you'll see this little yellow area inside. That's some roof instability. We'd need a lot more maintenance to keep this upright because it'd be a kind of a sagging roof. We can compensate for this by putting in a pillar, by just unbuilding, and then all the yellow area goes away. So you can make very large buildings. They will need some internal pillars. I'm tempted to just keep things a little bit smaller right now because in a small building like that, the pillars don't feel great. On the other hand, that's kind of cool looking. So this building, you need workbenches, which is where the employees are going to be. So I think the arrow spots is where they work, but I'm not entirely sure about everything because I think sometimes they stand on the spot and sometimes they stand adjacent to the spot. And I don't really know how to read these things, but you can see this would employ 2 employees. If we go in and big in this, oh, you know what? That's not. Maybe we just go 7 after all. Because then I can just work a couple of these. That's kind of a nice size. So what I'm going to do is re-add this to the room, but then I'm going to shrink the room by removing those bits. And we're still on wooden buildings, right, which I can tell because we're using wood for that. That's going to be okay. And we'll want a door there. Actually, maybe I'll just make a nice wide door. There we go. We still have 100% insulation, so that's going to be okay. Now, we need to boost the efficiency, and that would be done with these auxiliary things. So the auxiliary station here adds efficiency, and we would like to add... There you go, 50% efficiency that way. What I'm going to do is... It looks like we need 6 squares. What I'm going to do is double stack that way. Or I could have just kept going until I got this. It's exactly the same. We're at 100% efficiency, good. And I'll put a storage over here. This allows the people who work here to store some goods in this building. I'll go with that. I don't think you need the storage, but I think it's handy. You can see we need 125 stone, 125 wood for something. The other one had a positive foundation. So this is negative foundation. So it is actually costing us a little bit more, but that's fine. Okay, seems good. We're going to construct this. And yes, we're overbuilding this road. We don't need it right now, but you know what? Again, it'll lead to a little bit of fulfillment. That's going to be okay. I think we can grow a fair bit more. We've got tons of food and it's still coming in. I'm going to accept some more immigrants. You can see the number of days worth of food just went down because we did add, we added a ton more. I didn't actually check to see how many immigrants were waiting, but we'll appreciate the odd jobbers to finish this. And of course, we're going to be hiring some number of them in this carpenter's workshop relatively soon to start producing furniture for us. Okay. If we did pull up the roads again, we'd probably see more desire paths being set up there. And I could build a little diagonal road through here. But if we just did something that reduced their movement speed, they would tend to use that because it will lower the walking speed. They might still cut some corners from time to time. But let's say I did something like this, prepared my sort of like alleyway structure idea. Put a janitor here. That'd be a little bit big for a janitor, but oh yes, and the food stalls and everything like that. Yeah, I still like that. And then then here, we should have the stone because we had some stored up. We got 100 stone stored up. If there was any stone under here, we might be a little short. I might want to say, clear some more rock. Oh, we've got tons of rock over there. Some might be under this. But I'm going to issue just a little bit of a rock clearing command. That should be plenty that we need. In fact, it wouldn't surprise me if we end up with extra because there might be some underneath things. We got a lot of homeless people, although more people are willing to immigrate right now. You can see there's a problem. A lot of odd jobbers compared to your workforce. Give them something to do. I'm working on a game. I'm working on it. Chillax. We'll have some jobs in here. Right now, I need the odd jobbers to build the things where they'll be working afterwards. Furniture does take a really long time to build. Oh, see, now we've got too much stone. But I think, yeah, it hasn't started getting used yet. Right now, our stockpile is full of stone. But that's fine. We know that the stone sitting around outside is perfectly okay. It doesn't decay very quickly at all. Just 1% per year. It hardly makes a difference to store it because the decay rate is so low. There we go. All the internal stuff is being delivered now. Including, there we go, they just grabbed a bunch of rock, a bunch of stone. Boom, 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 boom. Oh, I think we're out of wood. Yep, no, that warning is saying we're out of wood, so we need to fell some more trees. In fact, we'll do a big area there because we need some wood for some other things as well. Tap, 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 tap. And there we go. And now the construction will begin. I don't know if like there's a number of like maximum number of people in work while some are doing leisure time. It's like, I want you guys to get in here and go to work as quickly as possible so we can start producing furniture, which again is going to be nice for our construction, but also other things. Someone is sick. Oh no. Oh, they might be too cold. You know what I haven't gotten around to is building my hearth and everything. So, I said we would end up with a nice 15 by 15 internal area over here. So yeah, I think it's like this. Yeah, that's gonna be our 15 by 15 internal area. I'm just gonna go, I'll do the ring of roads and then build stuff inside. I'm gonna put a hearth right in the middle. So under health, we can go and build a hearth, which we'll need for the winter. I'm gonna make it 5 by 5, nicely centered. They also want water access. They can go down to the river for some things, but we're gonna get a well. And I think what I'll do is I'll do a 4 by 4 well, which will fit in very nicely over here. Okay, those resources will be nice to have. And yeah, we might have some people dealing with hypothermia. We might even get some cold deaths over here because I didn't realize we were in winter. Back down on some of these because we got tons of wood right now. Finish this construction, please. Get that hearth going on before anyone dies from hypothermia. Hypothermia, I suppose, in this case. Hyperthermia would be in the summer, right? From overheating. We also don't have enough houses for everyone. That's not going to help them either, but I think getting these services built would be ideal. Having their leisure time. But yeah, I don't know if that's what they... Oh, the Werax exposures. I don't know what that is. Known diseases. Oh, here's where we find out what they are. Oh, Werax, I think they might have been, I think they remember like fleas. What is someone infected with? Infected 1. Is it you? Being sick. When you went skinny dipping, maybe that wasn't a good idea. Being sick. Sick with what? Got an infection, but I don't know. Oh, I'm sure it says it somewhere in here. But there's too much. There's too much. Yeah, I don't know. Anyway, we don't have healthcare. We're not gonna have healthcare for a while. But yeah, if it was from the cold, I feel bad about that. But there we go. That's done. Everyone's gonna go warm themselves. So right now we got 100% load because everyone probably had a backlog of stuff. We'll probably see a fairly high load on the well as well. Sure. But now that it's been satisfied, we're probably okay. And yeah, whenever a new room gets finished, you get a little alert up there. But that's going to be fine. Okay, let's go and build some more houses. In fact, I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to build a triple set of long houses over on this top part over here. Is that lined up? Yeah, no, I think I did do all the math and the prep good. Oh, like this. Yeah, because it just overlaps one corner, and then we will have something that overlaps with one corner over here. Yeah. Okay, so this will give us, each one of these is room for 10, so we could support up to 50 people. I'm going to build these. I'm not necessarily going to accept more people right away, though, because we don't have that much food stockpiled. You know, middle of winter. We could do more hunting, like on-map hunting. So you can go. One of the commands we can do over here is hunt. And so these oryxes over here is I could say let's hunt, which we might need to do. There's a very good chance we might need to do exactly that. But I also want to build hunters, and they actually grab food from off-map. All right, here's our carpenters. So this is hiring 12 people, leaving us 7 odd jobbers, which ain't bad, I would say. And they are currently producing, you can see, 6.18 units of furniture per day. And if I mouse over the furniture over here, I can see that. So, there it is. Just updating, 6 and change. And there's none lost to decay, and nothing else is consuming furniture at this moment. So we're just going to go and accumulate it. It gets stored over here, and then eventually gets brought into the warehouse by the warehouse workers. Hey, look at that. Now to 4 over here, 91% workload, pretty good. This number here is the commute. And this is a sort of an efficiency modifier. 100% commute is good. That means people aren't wasting time commuting. If the commute time starts to get long, this efficiency number will go down. So let's say we had 50%, then that would be bad. We'd be losing 50% of our efficiency just based on the fact that people are having to walk like crazy to get to this job. And then we can keep an eye on some of those things as well if we start to see the commute go down. So they're consuming wood on the daily. We don't have a daily wood input. We are going to build some woodcutters soon, but I don't think we need that yet. Although we don't seem to have a full stockpile of wood. So I think I will go and say, all right, let's cut down some more trees here, because we clearly keep using it, and that's going to be all right. And then keep working on that. And yeah, I don't want to bring in any new immigrants quite yet. But we do have grain now, so we will be going and setting up a new farm. And that should put us in a really good place food-wise. And I think we can actually till it in the winter. So a new grain farm. And yeah, so if I did over here, soil, still 107%. And then over here, 110%. So this is better soil, but that is pretty darn good. What I might do, what if I leave a 3-tile gap over here for a future road? And then build the farm over here. Maybe I build it just as tall as that. So it's 29. Do I just do another 29 by 29 farm? Just as an arbitrary number? There you go. And yeah, it's not maxed on moisture, but that's still pretty high. And if we go and run an irrigation canal over here, one thing I don't know is I don't know how far an irrigation works. Like, it's possible even if I wrap this with canal, maybe the middle area wouldn't be 100% moisture, but that might be fine. There's probably some efficient reach on canals. Maybe I'll Google it in between episodes, but for now, I'll just go and set up this shape. This needs 85 grain to set it up. We have 96. Perfect. We can plant all this grain and have this fully satisfied. Farmer count. Okay, the farmer count's a little bit awkward. This would try to assign 11. We might just go and set it to 10, which means maybe not all of it will be worked perfectly, but that's okay. I could shrink this or grow it to try to hit a more magic number. Well, here's an idea. Okay, if it's 29 tall, and we put a gap in between, 14. What if I do 2 areas that are 14 instead? Let me redraw this because I don't know. 14. That's not bad because that'll assign basically 5. And then I could make a second one. Wait, how does this work? Does this be counting as 2 different farms? Oh. This counts as 1 farm for organizational purposes. With the gap, which could be a great place to maybe run a canal later. I have no idea. But let's try it. All right, done. Oh, area must be connected. Dang it. Okay, well, that's what I'm just going to do then, is there'll be 2 separate farms. There we go. There we go. Do that. We could grow 2 separate crops, although, so we know for the humans, right? They don't actually... Fruit is not one of their preferred things. Vegetables not one of their preferred things. I mean, they're going to, I don't know, die from scurvy or something. They do want mushroom farms, but we need a tech for that. Like, they want mushrooms. It's one of their favorite foods, but we don't have the tech to build mushroom farms. That might be something we go looking for. But I'll just get that farm set up for now. And yeah, we're still harvesting the wild grain. That is still marked, but you can see here, must be ripe, which happens in late summer. So they will do another harvest. At some point, we might want to cancel some of the foraging stuff. But for now, that's going to be okay. And obviously, we will need a baker. We don't need a mill in this game. We go directly from grain to bread, but we need a bakery for that. Okay, so we're building that. We're building that. How worried am I about food? You know what? I think I will accept. I'm going to go and say I would like to auto-accept up to 50. 50 will unlock something for us, which we may not use right away. It opens up automated trade, which isn't critical. And we will be doing a lot with trade. I've been encouraged in this game by people saying, you know what, you're not going to be producing every single thing. You are going to be importing stuff you're missing. If we could be importing mushrooms, that would be lovely for us. So I think everything else we'd be pretty comfortable producing. Bread, meat, mushrooms. What's the other thing again? Eggs. Right, we might import eggs as well. I think that might be fairly reasonable. All right, get that farm going. There you go, up to 50 people. We have a lot of homeless people right now, but they're actually all going to be homed very soon, and the more objobbers is going to help. Wood's okay. We're a little low on stone. We're not currently using any stone. I will maybe designate a little bit of stone to be collected ahead of our next big building that might need it. Housing's nearly done. I think we can go and do that. Here. Clear rock in this area, which we're going to be building anyway. We might end up importing stone as well. I kind of like the idea of producing furniture and selling that. Up to 11. Still doing there. Okay, we're going to build, again, the next thing we're going to build is a hunter. Now, in the old days, I think when I played it before, the hunters would go around the map and slaughter things that are on the map. But I think that they would quickly depopulate the entire map, which is kind of crazy. But in any case, in the current version of the game, the hunters actually leave. They go off map to do things. And I think there's some encouragement to build it near the edge of the map. Although, you know, if I built a hunter over here, there'd still be someone have to haul all the meat back inside the base. So I'm not sure how much it matters that much on where they are. Although maybe the closest they are to these roads, well, these are just dirt paths, so they're not really all that speedy, but it might still be useful. Does this ever look ugly with the end of winter? I guess everything is probably muddy snow right now, but it'll look better as the weather improves. Also, these dirt roads are decaying over time as well. Including my own, although mostly it's the snow covering it right now. We will need a janitor. If we mouse over these buildings, you can see there's a degrade percentage, currently it's 0, but buildings do degrade over time and need some maintenance. I think there's a reason maybe the tutorial gets you to build a janitor quite early. I don't know if we need it yet, but we're going to go and build it. We aren't going to need a very big one. I could go and fill in this thing for a janitor. And the idea being we will grow it later. We will only maybe employ one person, but it'll have the ability to employ more over time. Or maybe what we really want is just a lot of small janitors sort of sprinkled throughout our base. I don't know what turns out to be best. But I can build a workstation. Oh, this is a fixed size. Interesting. Huh. Do that. I could build a second one, but then I wouldn't have any room for the utility buildings. This would already be employing 5 janitors. That actually seems pretty good. And then... okay, let me rotate it that way. And then I can make it a little bit smaller and do that. So we get 100% efficiency. Okay, and then I will put a door here. And if I can put a door on the back, yeah, still 100% installation, perfect. Okay, let's get that going on. And this could house up to 5 janitors, but we're gonna be setting it to 1 for just a little bit of maintenance. They keep their buildings intact. They're very important. Oh, and we've hit 50 people, so we just leveled up. We went from a mir to a emir. So an emir is a rightful ruler of land. As such, we can now conduct trade with our neighbors. We need at least 50 plebeian, which we now have, and we now have the ability to build export and import depots. Great. We're not going to be making use of them yet, but it's really nice to have. Also, it's nice to see more people are looking to come in, although we lost the double tick to just a 1 tick. Loyalty 144%, happiness 129%. The services is updating slightly. Oh, because we have a well that people are starting to use and the hearth over there. So yeah, that satisfaction should continue to be the case. And the loads are starting to get more reasonable on these as well. Good. And then, yeah, soon we'll have some buildings, so that's going to be okay. Let's watch this janitor get constructed here, because I don't want to employ 5 people in it, although I do have a lot of odd jobbers ready to go. And yeah, I'm going to build a hunter. Here's what I think I'm going to do. I'm going to build a dirt road from this top part. Yep. All the way out over here to meet the road that was started on the map. Excellent. And then, you know what? While we're at it, I'm going to reactivate the jobs. We're going to finish those little road plans that we've got there. Is it important? I don't know. Does it look pretty? Yes. Does that make it important? There you go. That's how the logic is going to work. Deal with it. bit of stone, a little bit of wood that's being constructed. Good, 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 good. There we go. Housing is mostly fine. We don't have a lot of food, especially with all the people. I think we should probably, in the short term, we will instruct a hunt over here. Now, I think if you completely wipe out a pack of animals, then that pack is gone and will no longer reproduce. So we're going to call, not even half, that's maybe about a third, is we're going to take as meat and leather. Okay, wood stockpile is fine. But yeah, we are consuming it. And we can see, again, we are consuming about 25, well, actually more than that, 28 net wood per day, because some of it's going towards maintenance. And some of it is being decayed in our stockpile as well. Which is why stockpiling too much of things doesn't really make any sense, because it's just going to rot more. Really want this to be finished, please. Have your house stir up. There we go. This is done. There we go. Oh, interesting. Oh, I guess it's on auto mode by itself. Oh, that'll be fine. And it's currently hiring one. It might temporarily hire a second one. It'll weight this appropriately so that things are actually being useful. So yeah, I didn't realize the janitor had an auto mode. That's wonderful. Oh, does it have the... If I turn this off, does it lose the gear? No. The gear is just part of its art. Okay. I thought maybe that was a sign of buildings that had been automated. Lovely. Okay, and oh, we're full on meat. In fact, what we'll do is we'll increase the meat storage. 4 bins. Okay, we only got a couple more crates left, but we're going to be canceling some of the things. Like, for example, we know we don't have any booze. I don't need anything for the booze stockpile right now. We could free that up. There'll be more of that as we go. But I think that was a kind of a nice way to start. Oh, we got some leather. Oh, maybe from hunting the oryx. Ooh. All right, well, let's update that. I'm just going to add 1, just to try to avoid having any of it outside and rotting at twice the speed. We might be able to get a tailor sooner rather than later for some clothing for people. Okay, so, and I'll build the hunter. Maybe I'll go ahead and plan like a bit more of an industrial thing over here. Again, this hunter won't be near the edge of the map. It might get moved later on. They might get changed in a bunch of different ways. We'll see. So there is a limit to how many hunters you can have before you get a diminishing return. And depending, my Googling, it says it's either 15 or 16. Maybe it's 15, but 16 ends up being a good number for our building here. Now, I don't know how much space I need. Let me just drag out more probably than I need horizontally. The big thing is the butcher's table. That's where the hunters work. And the biggest size you can do is this, which will employ 2 hunters, or we can do this one for 1. And yeah, it can't be scrooched against the wall. And I don't know where they stand. I'm guessing, I mean, if this is 2 hunters, then they're not going to stand at the arrows. Maybe that's where the carcasses go. It's like, if I want to make this pretty, what would it look like? Anyway, so I'm going to go and make room for 16 hunters. Now, we still need to boost the efficiency, so we need some utility tables for that. And how big can we get? Oh, yeah, we're going to need quite a few of these. Actually, maybe let me embiggen this slightly. No, we need, I'll tell you what, let's add more than I need. And come back. Utilities. Embiggen some more. 13. Yeah, we're overshooting a tiny little bit, but because I'm sure it adds more than 13 per, but there's our 100. And then what we're going to do is we're going to shrink the building that way. Good, and then we need some doors. Maybe what I'll do is I'll set up a triple door on both ends. Still fully insulation? Good. That's what we're going to do. This walls, everything's okay. Oh, yearly report, thank you very much. And yeah, 16 hunters possible. And it's possible there's a slight diminishing return after 15, but I think that's going to be good. So there you go. So there's our big hunter's lodge. So they'll leave the map, then come back with some carcasses and butcher them up. Good. We have a bunch of meat right now, which is making our humans are really happy currently. I think what I want to do next is I do want to set up a food stall. So the way a food stall works, so right now, our people, when they're hungry, they go to the warehouse, they grab effectively the raw, unprepared food, and then just eat it. I mean, they can, the raw meat, I don't know, maybe they do that. Actually, I think that's what's happening there. I think this fellow over here is eating some of this meat. These food stalls, people will grab the food, and conceptually, I think what they're doing is they're preparing into a meal, right? If it was a loaf of bread, instead of eating a loaf of bread raw, then maybe they make a little sandwich. They're not actually combining the food. They're not changing the nutritional value or anything like that. But this makes people much happier than just having grabbed stuff out of this. So let me just drag a big area here, but I don't think we're going to be making use of this. In particular, I think we'll assume we're going to leave in a little alleyway, a little path here, but we need a stall building. And this can also be grown. It does have a maximum size, which is this. And actually, that looks pretty good. All right, if I do this and just continue to leave a little bit of a buffer around, that seems all right. And so this hires one employee and has room for a certain number of things. I'm sure this is plenty for now. Do I want to do more? I don't know. Maybe what I'll do is I'll just build that one, but the expectation that we might end up throwing some more in later. We'll leave a little bit of gap around because that looks nice. So we're going to use 28 wood to get that going, and that should give us more fulfillment as well. My people are insanely happy right now. So I arguably don't need any more services. As long as I make sure they don't start starving, we're going to be in a pretty good place. With the construction there, you can see this hunter's construction needs furniture, needs 29 furniture, which we almost have, so that's good. And wood is fine. We're going to use a bunch over there. We use a little bit there, and of course we still need it for this, but we're actually completely full on wood. There's probably still some, there's still some sitting on the ground as well. Good. By the way, if you mouse over here, you can see what some of the humans are saying. Oh, they want some religion. Or I can do it with an individual person as well, right? They said different things. So we're going to need some temples soon. Well, again, for different values of soon. People are so ecstatically happy right now that even though their religious need is unfulfilled, they're not going to, nothing bad's going to happen. Famous last words, but that is the case. Oh, one of our neighbors. We, the people of Ravexti, so some bug people. Ooh. One-eyed bug person. Extend a welcome to our human neighbors and offer this small gift. Nearly 14,000 buckaroos and 400 units of bread? Yeah, sure. Accepting this offer will change the faction. We could decline and piss them off. Why would we do that? Why? Well, of course we'll just take some free stuff. Thank you. So here's our money over here. This money is only used for trading. Has no, as far as I know, no use within our city itself, but it is very important because trade is going to be very important. And yeah, so bread in theory is being delivered and will be stockpiled. How much room do we have for bread? I think I just have the one crate right now, yeah? Yeah, so let's go and set 4 crates over here to make sure we've got some room. And our humans will start to eat that right away because it is a preferred food. So we've got meat and we've got bread as preferred food being fulfilled. And yeah, there's our food stall over there. Oh, it's actually going to employ... Oh, because they're rounding up. No, I'm just going to set it to 1 here because it was 1 and change for this, which is really awkward. But yeah, just keep 1. I'm not going to put it on auto. So 1 person here, I think this is the person working in the food stall. They're going to grab food from here and then put it in position. So that food will be waiting for my people. So there's going to be meat. They'll grab some bread. Interesting, the pathing gets put in there. Should I have rotated this? Huh. There's no indication, but if I go and rotate it that way, we'll have to rebuild it, unfortunately. But it feels like that will reduce the movement time. May not matter. And it could be that even though I rotated 180 degrees, it could be that this stall only has the 1 horizontal position, and we're still going to have that over there. But let's see. Building that. Yeah, lots of odd jobbers, so that's good. When do we get the bread? We don't need an import depot because that works differently. Assuming just, oh, there we go. It's starting to arrive now. How's that? Oh, did it get just dropped in front of our base? There it is. That's going to get stockpiled. Nice. Oh yeah, no, that bin is still there. So I guess theoretically as an optimization, unless she ends up filling both sides, and maybe she drops some things off there as well. Maybe this is just first, but it's like almost as an optimization. You want your food stalls to the left of your stockpiles? I don't know. Tap, 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 tap. We haven't talked about research yet. There's a huge, massive research tree with all kinds of different things. But research is actually weirdly not something I think you rush in Songs of Six, because it's actually kind of a pain in the butt, which I remember from before. It takes a lot of people, and they kind of get locked in that job because they will produce the knowledge over time. The combination of innovation and knowledge, depending on what buildings you use, innovations at laboratories, knowledge is done at libraries. They will produce those over time, but at some point they reach sort of a cap to how much a single, lab can produce. And when you assign things, it consumes from that. And then for some reason, let's say those people die or you knock down the lab, you actually lose that knowledge and the tech deactivates itself. And it's really labor intensive. Humans are good at it, which is nice. But yeah, it's kind of crazy. Let's fill that gap in with the dirt so that it all matches. That'll look nice. We're still waiting over here, just waiting for some construction to happen. 21 days worth of food. Although a lot of this bread is going to rot very quickly. You can see per day we're losing 9 loaves of bread to that. But we could definitely have more people. And since my people are legitimately happy, I think we will do this. Now this design here fits 100 people, which is kind of a nice number. I think I'm going to go and say, yeah, we're going to double our population. Bring me up to 100 people. Getting to 75 is going to be an important breakpoint for a promotion as well. So Control F, house, boom, rotate, and plop you down right over there. Yes, that looks right. And then the singles go there and there to complete our little housing block. And I think that's going to look really pretty. I like that. I will try to make it, I'll try to do some variety so they're not always the same, but it is very handy for us. We can use the area copier over here to grab this whole block and quickly paste it. And I'm sure we'll have some repeats because, you know, patterns exist like that in real life, but we'll try to shake it up. Sometimes we'll rotate it, but also we'll do some different organizations. Some of these houses, some of these little plazas might be one huge building, like we can build these huge giga temples. I think that would be more useful for the species that have like a single god preference, like how the Talapi mostly worshipped one god. Then we build like huge temples to that instead of having a little mix of things. What's the smallest temple size we can do? Yeah, okay. That would be, what was that, 6 by 6? No, we actually could fit 4 temples in one of these blocks. Or some mix, but I think we'll probably do a religious plaza somewhere else instead. Oh, I think they were complaining about the wood for a second there, and indeed, we have burned through this. Ah, there we go. New level, Amarir. We've got at least 75 people. This unlocks the ability to build a laboratory. It also gives us 25 innovation points. Let me look at that in just a second after I tell them to cut down some more trees, please. You know what, you may as well cut these down. It'll be close to the carpenter. That makes a lot of sense. Okay, so we have 25 innovation points. Now, I think knowledge is what tends to be used to unlock a new building. So we eventually will want proper burial, where, you know, our people will die, hopefully not because of mistakes we're making, but you guys know better, right? But, you know, maybe old age as well. We can already do mass graves, but that's not ideal. Our humans really want a proper graveyard. So this is 10 knowledge points. So as far as I can tell, knowledge tends to unlock new buildings. Innovation tends to be used to optimize a building. For example, if we wanted our grain farming to be more efficient, we could spend the innovation on that. And what's nice is the innovation we get from the level ups they can never go away, right? This is like a hard amount that's always going to be present. We could improve the efficiency of our pig farming, of our hunters. I don't really know what to read, like affect hunters from 0 to 0.5. I don't know what this number looks like. I kind of want this to finish so we can take a look. Oh, it is up. Insufficient workers. We want 16 workers. Oh, they just haven't been hired yet. Like, I'm wondering if we look over here, overtime species, does it show up as a species bonus? No, that's just literally our species genes. There's a luck factor. I don't know if that just varies up and down over time. Oh, it looks like it can go all the way to 1.4, which is interesting. Oh, additive technology. There it is. Okay, so there's multipliers and there's additive ones. I wonder if the 0.5 literally means that each hunter will generate an extra 0.5 meat per day. That would be pretty substantial. Waiting for some people to be put in over there. Population's at 76 and rising. Some homeless, but they're building their own homes. And there you go, 16 to 16 employed there. We got tons of odd jobbers still. There you go, 25 meat per day is now predicted to come in here. So the base is 2.2. I wonder if the multiplier maybe just affects the base, and the additive is just additive at the end after all the multipliers. So right now, 0.73, is that per worker? Total, 35. Okay, we can see. Okay, so the rate is 2.2 multiplied by 16 workers, and our workload and commute are both perfectly fine. So that's ending up at 35.2. We have a 0.73 multiplier, so that's being multiplied, and then 1.0 is another multiplier. I think the additive technology might be the 0.00, so it still does act as a multiplier, but maybe an extra 50. I'm not sure. We're going to find out when we unlock the tech. Well, you can probably find out from the comments because someone who's played the game probably is explaining it right now. But I'm going to be recording another episode right after this one, so I won't get it. But I'm betting if we went and did that, this might add an extra 50% to the output. Is that possible? It says additive, but it kind of reads as a different type of multiplier to me. We will find out. I don't know if hunting is going to be enough of a thing to warrant the upgrade. I think it's a bigger number than some of the others just because it doesn't really scale. Because again, at our 15/16 hunters, we don't know which one, but we've got 16 hunters. We're hitting the soft cap for hunting. You can keep building more hunters, but you lose efficiency. Food now, our production is not yet there, right? We're getting meat from both our hunters and our pasture over here. Now this is getting better because now we have some adult animals, 0.64. This meat production is still going to continue to increase. Maybe by next year, we'll have hit the full and proper cap. Actually, we're not full on animals either. We're at 14 to 22. Right, sorry. Yeah, adult animals, 0.94. So they have matured, which is good. But then there's also the number of animals is not at the full amount. So probably this is going to end up generating, what, 15 meat per day? Somewhere around there, 15 or 16 meat per day later on. Because we're not quite doubling with animals. Somewhere around there. So we're still going to be short, but we are now going to start producing grain as well. Now, grain does not count as part of our food, though. We will need a bakery, and I think that's going to be probably the first thing we do in the next episode. But our food situation is at least stable, and we are supplementing it with once a year. I thought that was a chocolate bar for a second, but I suspect it's some sort of metal. Oh, no, that's probably a clay pit is what that is. Looks like chocolate. We're supplementing it with our once-a-year foraging as well, although some of that foraging is just going to grain, but that's okay. And yeah, and what we might do is we might do a specific grain stockpile in this area. And we might even set up our bakers in this area just so that everything is close by. That makes a lot of sense to me. We'll probably stop storing any grain in the central warehouse. Like, in fact, I would probably call this something like warehouse central. Right? And then we'll have slightly more specialized or local warehouses for little sub-towns. We'll do this little outposts, over here to work the gems or something. I don't know if that's going to be something we do, but conceptually you could see that sort of thing. We might have a little outpost for our clay. We might have a few houses so that people can live there without the commute time. Because again, that's something we're gonna have to watch. How's the commute time over here? See, look, we're only running at 90% efficiency here because of the commute time to this pasture. The farm's at 99%. So already there's an idea of, do we go and build some more houses a little closer to the farm and get people to live there? I don't know if they move, like once they've settled in a house, do they change houses? Like it might be better for the people who work out here to live in these houses. And that's something I don't know. I also don't know if the commute is purely numbers based or is based literally on actual transit time, in which case, once we get more roads set up and better roads, then that might minimize some of that. That's entirely possible. We will see. We've got some, yes, because we let people in and their houses aren't quite done yet. So we've got a lot of homelessness. I'm okay with leaving a lot of odd jobbers for the moment to try to construct that a little bit faster. And then, yeah, we'll get a bakery happening. Okay, we'll put the cut in here. Folks, thanks for watching another episode of Songs of Six. I think this game is a freaking masterpiece. I think it's so good. And the screenshots of people's gorgeous cities is just second to none. I mean, there's no denying, while it's got lo-fi graphics, as things get bigger and more involved and stuff like that, I mean, it is so much more visually appealing than Dwarf Fortress. Look at the snow. It's sort of like RimWorld and Dwarf Fortress, but all of it bigger and more closer to city skylines. We haven't even gotten to like the warfare or lots of the advanced buildings yet. Man, oh man. I'm gonna have fun with this one. Thanks for watching. I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.